Hello, welcome back to Vision BTC. Sorry, I got a slight sore throat. Don't know what's going on in the morning. Let's talk something maybe some of you may not think about it before. A few days ago, people have been asking me, say, you buy gold, right? You buy Bitcoin, right? Yeah. Then they ask, why? Usually, I would just shoot them back a question and say, what if the Singapore dollars or your country currencies turns to zero overnight? No warning, just like that. This day, you turn on the news, you see your country's currencies finish gone, dead, without any warning. Not dropping 10% on the forex market gradually. Not even a little bit of inflation, just gone. Zero. Nobody wants it. Prices are changing by the hour, and your life savings can't even buy you breakfast. What do? And your bank account show the same number. You got $1 million in your bank account. Yeah, but the supermarket refused to accept it. Petrol, one other dollars, gold or Bitcoin or even hard assets. And this is how you feel when money dies. It has happened before in history many times. Let's talk about what happens to you if your country's currency suddenly turns to zero tomorrow and what it can do before the day comes. You see, when a country's currency collapses, value doesn't magically vanish in air. It moves. It transfers from one asset to the other. Like what Mike Bionic say. I'm sure you believe the famous story about the Germany loss after World War I. They have to pay back to the allies. And you have to imagine it's like hyperinflation. Basically, almost overnight. Price doubled in month, then a week, then days. The people can't even catch hold of their savings. They can see the savings just disappeared basically almost overnight. People have to rush to spend their money as soon as possible because tomorrow will spend less than today. Imagine that happens to your country right here, right now. Of course, I'm not fear-mongering, but the thing is, you need to prepare for your future. Someone asked me, I have kids and your elderly parents, so you need to think far. That's why I tell people, don't think of months or even years. Think of decades, 100 years, so that you can get through almost any kind of crisis you can think, right? Then, of course, there are many examples, photos of Germans holding the wheelbarrows of the banknotes just to buy groceries. And they refuse to accept that fiat because why? It's basically worthless. And there's a story that say that one guy during the era moved the barrel and tried to buy something. And what the looters did, they removed the cash and they took the wheel away. They find that the reward is more valuable than trash, basically. Fiat, this is what fiat does to us. Hard assets, really hard assets. In recent years, in 2008, in Zimbabwe, inflation was so crazy that price doubled almost every single day. That's why you got the famous $100 trillion note, and they can't even buy a loaf of bread. Can you imagine you're a trillionaire, you can't buy things? It's pathetic, absolutely pathetic. And the ATM, you can't even withdraw any money, even though there's so many zeros. But basically, your money is a big fat zero. Everybody lost money in local currency, everything. So when currency goes to zero, three things that happen to normal people. Your savings wipe out. Your salary stop making any sense. Your entire plan for the future gets deleted basically overnight. Money dies. But the real wealth, land, skills, food, energy, hard assets is still there. It just refuses to be priced in fiat, dead money. But I told you, is about confidence. Once the confidence is longer there, it's basically backed by nothing. Basically nothing. So let us bring up all together. What can we do? Of course, you need to prepare early, right? There's a term called pepper, survival pepper, but we are so-called the currency pepper humane. So what can you do in the first 2 hours of a currency death? First, there'll be confusion and people will be paralyzed. Shops either close completely or start changing price several times a day. Not in weeks, in a day. Can you imagine you want to buy something, a toothpaste, you go in the morning, it's this price. A few hours later, you want to buy something else or the same toothpaste, it changes. Your fiat basically become paper money or toilet paper, right? They don't know what to accept anymore. Can't be stopped because they cannot accept the price movement. Because you have to understand, price is actually information about the supply and demand. When you can't trust the price, what else can you trust? Basically, the system is entirely broken. Then the so-called black market pricing happens. People begin to price in other currencies like we are in Singapore, right? They'll price in US dollar, euros, or even gold and silver, or even gold back money or source. Or maybe some even like Turkey resort to the stable coin or even crypto and Bitcoin. I mean, Zimbabwe, right? As the currency crashes, businesses start accepting US dollar and USDT and USDC just to save themselves, to help themselves, because their currency basically died. What can they do? They didn't switch because they love crypto tech. They switched because it was basically survival. If they didn't do that, they're finished. Their entire life savings is finished. Then thirdly, you get the barter exchange of like you have chicken, I have eggs, that's exchange. But that will be a little bit tricky. Then medicine, petrol, everything will be chaos. It'll be like cigarettes and everything. It's back to after World War I Germany again, hyperinflation. Everything priced in cash is basically worthless because if prices keep changing, there'll be confusion. When there's confusion, there could be chaos. What else can one do but just seek for a better system, right? For you personally, your bank account could still work, but nobody wants your dollar or your whatever currency in your bank. The employee still pays you, but your salary by less by the hour, or even in some cases by the seconds. The very second you hold your salary, it no longer makes sense. Can't even buy you anything if your currency goes to kaput in days, hours, depending how severe your currency dies, then your cost of living moves faster than your mind can process. Because most of us, we didn't really experience this kind of crisis before. When you feel it in your bones and you see it firsthand, your mind just switch. You turn to survival mode. You might think that, oh shoot, I should get some gold and silver, physical ones, or I should have Bitcoin. At least I can use the Lightning network to spend some sats. As long as people really accept sats or other hard assets, you are basically safe until you can think of the next plan or the government do something to save the fiat currency, right? When money breaks, it turns become not just become economy, it becomes social and political. It doesn't make sense. Why money has become politics? When you think about it, it's stupid. It's crazy. It's mind-boggling. It's really crazy. Then what about elderly parents? Their pension is basically worthless. Because why? Everything is priced in fiat, local currencies. It's going kaput. Your friends with safe income get crushed by the hardest. Why? Everything is priced in local prices. Think about it. This topic is much bigger than you think. Imagine your money, this Singapore $10 can't buy you anything. Basically, if all your net worth is tied to fiat currency, you're in a rude awakening if there is a hyperinflation. I mean, I'm not trying to say that it could happen in our country, but you have to think, what if it happens? You say, oh, it won't happen, but history showed again and again. History doesn't repeat, it rhymes. What could happen to you and your family? You have to think, what it happens to you? Nobody's going to save you but yourself and your family. Are you going to do something or just say and just hope nothing's going to happen? Right? Because fiat currency can help me. Shit! No! Not at all. When you think, just think that money can be controlled by a few people in suits. This is a vote of confidence. This is backed by confidence and not by hard assets like gold or silver or even Bitcoin, I will argue. People do say, right, in investing world, say, be aware of this time is different, this time is different. But I believe this time is indeed different. I mean, look at the trend. The world is changing from industry age to information age. And now could be even in the beginning of the AI age. And AI could and will choose crypto and Bitcoin. Why? It makes sense to them. It's faster. It's borderless. Just go anywhere. Anyway, I'm speaking to myself, but let's continue, right? That's why I say that real collapse is not people lose money. It's when people lose the confidence in the currency. The moment when they don't believe in this fiat currency anymore, in the country fiat currency, that's where everything goes to shit. Everything begins gradually and then suddenly, no warnings. Violence took out. Chaos take place. It's almost game over, guys. That's why if you have hard asset, you're safe. So once that trust of confidence is gone, no speech, no press conference, no new logo, a bank logo or a bank notes can fix this. Let's imagine this happens to you tomorrow, right? You wake up, you check your banking account, the numbers are still exactly the same, $1 million, right? In your bank account. Let's say you're rich, 1 million, 2 million, 10 million, 100 million, whatever. Then the stock market only accepts stable coins or US dollar in Singapore or wherever you're in, or you if in US here, other currencies, because basically your US dollar is gone, is kaput. Then the landlord wants your rent in hard asset, be it Bitcoin or stable coin or gold or silver even. The employees say that due to current situation, you're revising your salary arrangement. It'll be lower or higher depending on the company. And if your net worth is 100% in fiat, you are basically dead financially because they can make it more worth less and worth less. And what you're going to do? If let's say that happens to now, nothing, you can do nothing but to accept the fact that they're basically financially gone. But on the other hand, let's say for example, you have a small portion or a portion of foreign currencies, US dollar, Swiss bank, if you're not a Singaporean, some Sing dollars, and some hard assets like gold and silver, physical. And in my opinion, Bitcoin self-custody in your own hardware wallet or a wallet that you can you can able to use it just by yourself. Nobody hold your keys, nobody know your seed phrase, sorry. That way you can have freedom. You have the freedom to trade, to commerce, and to make trade. Those who have assets, you are basically safe. That's why I say you must have set aside some gold, silver, and mostly in Bitcoin, just in case this kind of thing happen. Because when you think of gold and silver and Bitcoin is hard asset and money, your mindset shifts. Is because when you know that fiat currency, again, back to the topic, is backed by confidence, you know this is just almost like a Ponzi scheme, right? Who gets right on the top, trickles down to below is mind-boggling. Sometimes when I tell people that this is backed by nothing, they knew, but they're not doing anything. Why? Ignorance. I'm not looking down on them, but you have to be prepared at almost all sorts of things. And this is very important. Your financial health is very important, but you're not doing anything. I don't know what else to say. I would argue say it's almost as important as life itself. If your this can't buy anything, you're basically finished. You have nothing else. Even your stocks is basically is finished because why? It's backed by fiat. Don't forget, everything in the world of now, almost everything is backed by fiat. This US dollar. Can you imagine if US dollar goes to zero tomorrow? Your US stocks is basically zero, a big fat zero. Just think about it. Nobody take time to think that, oh shoot, my US stocks is gonna turn to zero because my US dollar is, if crash, what are you gonna do, right? Alright, let's go back. Is everything you work for is basically zero, is worthless because what? This backed by zero. I'm laughing is because a lot of people won't get this message, this confidence, backed by confidence, and it turns to zero, you're basically dead. They keep on printing and print. If your asset, if your currency is backed by debt and that whole system collapses, what on earth are you going to do? It's almost nothing you could do if I said you have, again, gold, silver, I mean physical one, not storing somewhere, because there's a restatement. Look, if it's in your own safeguard, at least you can protect it if your life was and Bitcoin. Like what I say, money in your pocket, basically your phone. What? So where does Bitcoin fit to all of this? When your currency dies, your country currency dies, people rush to things like hard to print, very easy to verify, acceptable beyond their borders. In the past, that meant gold, silver, and stronger forward as currencies. But in digital world, it doesn't make sense anymore because now we have something new. Even though it existed in 17 years, but Bitcoin has never been hacked in existence for 17 years. It's a hard asset. And it is a digital barrier asset with fixed supply, 21 million, because this is the first time that currency or money that is limited asset, 21 million. You can never get more than 21 million and you can never get less than 21 million, right? So Bitcoin doesn't care what your central bank do, your election cycle, or even your local crises. There'll only be 21 million coins. The rules are enforced by code and energy, not by promises by some guy in suit and tie. If you depend your life on a politician, I advise you to change your mindset. Politicians can't save you. Only you yourself can, alright? In short, you have two choices. Now you still have time. We don't know what future may hold. You can hold on your la world, thinking that this can save you. If you are smart enough, I advise you to go to the next one. At the very least, try to educate yourself on money. Then when you understand, you naturally go to gold and silver, physical one, not paper ones, because paper ones they are so-called the fool's gold. Gold, physical gold and silver, and then Bitcoin. Bitcoin makes sense in this world because you can transact anywhere else in the world as long as you have their Bitcoin addresses. If you are Lightning Network within seconds, if you order on chain 10 minutes, at least 10 minutes to an hour or two at a fraction of fee. Can you imagine you have money that you can move millions of dollars worth of money within hours, just a low cost fee of a few cents or at most $1 or two if the network traffic is low. It's mind-boggling. You try doing that in banks on the weekend. It will cost you a lot of money, certain percentage. Some might cost you 1 to 3% or even 10%. 10% just to move your own money overseas. You must be crazy. If you are rich and you do your own research, you would think that Bitcoin makes sense because if you're moving millions of dollars and you spend on fees or your own money and you're taxed on it, I'm calling you out. You're stupid if you're not using Bitcoin. Sorry, but the facts are there. Have it at me. This is